Hello friends, my name is Craig Hammonds, owner of Cornerstone Lighting and Electric. Super excited to be here with you today and explain some of these newer systems that we're installing. So there's been a lot of misconception when it comes to solar and battery backup, primarily based on how it all began. Most companies were selling solar to put it back to the grid. And that can make sense. I mean, depending on your location and where you live, that can work. But what the reality is that the reason it wasn't working for a lot of people is when hurricanes come, they find out that there is no power when the utility is down. The reason for that is because it's actually a code requirement that you have rapid shutdown devices on your solar system. So when the power is out, that the solar goes out. It's there in place for the safety of the firefighter. So if a fire is there and the firefighter comes and turns off your power, it de-energizes the solar panels to keep them safe while they hose down your house. But the reality is that doesn't work good in a case of an outage. And even a short-term outage can be a major disruption for life. So what we've done is we've kind of shifted the business. We've seen the reality of how that was working out. And we're like, hey man, there's like a lot of people that are like not happy with this. But I always kind of believed in solar. I always thought there was actually an opportunity for it. I just didn't know exactly how it was going to pan out. So a few years back, we had some solar boys knocking on our doors. We invited them in, no problem. And I let them try to sell it to me. And when we got to the end of it, they told me the price, and it was like $80,000, no battery. And I said, well, okay, so the question I have is like, if I sell my house in like 2 years and I want to move, how much is it going to cost to take it down, relocate it, re-engineer it, and put it back up? And they said free. And I said, well, okay, now you're lying to me because that makes no sense. So I understand the frustration in that, and unfortunately for them, the sale did not work that day, obviously, but it did intrigue me to go a little bit deeper. So now what you're looking at now is something state-of-the-art, so a hybrid system. The systems that put power back to the grid is a grid-tied system. A system that is not tied to the grid at all is called an off-grid system. A hybrid inverter is the best of both worlds. It's a grid tie and it's an off-grid system depending on how you want to operate it. So this system right here, which was purchased from Signature Solar, so if you're looking for any type of supplies for this, I would highly recommend them. They're great people. I mean, I can contact them at any point in time. If you want a discount, you can go through me and I can get you even a better price. But point is this. So we went and purchased this through them and we installed this system. What it does is it draws power from the utility. It has the availability to draw power from its battery, which you can't see in the camera fully, and then it also can draw power from the solar. And it kind of chooses, depending on how you have the firmware set up, which one has priority over the other. So, and then it puts it to your panel. Now, in a typical house, you would have the meter, the disconnect, and then the panel. In this situation, you have the meter, you have the hybrid inverter, and which is the brains of the operation, and then you have the panel. So what it has inside of it is what's called an automatic transfer switch. Now, many people are familiarized with generators. Generators have been around for a long time. It is a form of sustainable power, but obviously it's not easy or cheap to install or maintain one. So even if you have a generator installed, you're looking at a whole house generator, you're looking at least 20 grand or more with the tank buried and everything, and then continuous maintenance and gas. So even to run the generator is going to cost you basically almost hundreds of dollars a day if you're running a full load on your house. So the cost of that, you might as well at that point, in my opinion, just go stay in a hotel. But that's my opinion, so that doesn't mean that's truth. But the truth about this is that it does have an automatic transfer switch, and it transfers basically immediately. So at times, depending on how you have your system set up, if you have your entire house set up off this, it can transfer immediately to the battery. So if the power goes out, boom, it transfers, you still got power. Generator takes much longer. There's a handful of seconds before it starts up, about 10 seconds before the generator is going to start up for you. Now, there's no gas for this, there's none of that, okay? So it's very clean system. It's, this is made for the inside, this is also made for the outside elements. So you have opportunity with this that you don't have with a generator, or B, other inverters, So this is really one of the best options that anybody can have. Now, it is 18 kPV. It does allow a lot more solar to come through than some of the smaller systems. Some people might not need that. A lot of people I talk to say, well, I just want the fridge and this. A lot of people say the fridge and the air conditioner. Well, the air conditioner is a big load, and so you're going to need something like this. But if you are a simple person and you think, well, I just need a small solar system, I don't need a lot, I just want the fridge and the freezer to keep going and a few lights and a fan. I've heard that time and time again. I can get you that system. I can get you that system for super cheap. All you have to do is just reach out. If you have any questions about this video, if you have any questions about these systems, if you have any questions just about your panel or your disconnect or your meter, anything electrical, we're a fully licensed electrical company, so we can do anything and everything basically. But ideally we want to stick to, the main things, the main food groups here. That way we can serve our city well and actually get people not necessarily off the grid, because that's kind of a misnomer too. Off-grid really just means that you're not drawing power from the utility company. Everybody has to be quote unquote on grid. You have to have a meter. You have to. Like there's no getting around that unless you live somewhere where it's raw land and you just got a container out there or whatever you got, and that's a different potential opportunity. But in most situations, everybody is grid tied, but whether or not you draw from that or not, that's up to you. That's up to how you want to set your system up. And I can walk you through that step by step, so that way it actually makes sense. And you can pick and choose your own systems. You can build your own package, which is nice. So if your money is like this, then you're going to want to choose. You're going to have to be a little more cautious as to what you want to actually utilize when you're in an off-grid situation, or however that works out. So a lot of times what you hear is people either have solar, they want solar, or they need solar. But no matter what, you're one of those. You're either you have, you want, or you need. And so if you're one of those and you know it and you just have questions or thoughts, or hey, how much would this, or maybe you just want a actual ballpark price, all you have to do is reach out. batterymannow@gmail.com. And we can communicate that way. A lot of times when I'm in the office early in the mornings, I'll probably have the best chance of getting back. The days get pretty busy. But for the most part, as long as you email me, I definitely will see the email and get back to you. So any questions you got, you can always reach out that way, and I'd be more than happy to answer those questions. Okay, until next time, guys, stay blessed, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.